Shabbat Shalom, Jack. Great to see you.
Nice.
Try it again, Jack.
There you go.
I was just saying hello to you.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good to see you all.
Susan will be joining in a moment.
Very good. Very good. We're thrilled. And we are going live. We are live. How amazing is that? So, fantastic.
So you're live 3 different ways.
It is. It's a technological marvel.
Waking up. Oh, I'm just waking up.
All right. It's fantastic. All right.
Do you have candles around down there?
So we're going to ask everyone to mute. And I'm going to mute you, so don't be upset. And Cantor Baron, I'm going to make you the hero of our morning, our afternoon. Are you ready?
Really? Oh, wow.
There you are. You look nice and large. You did. You grew.
It's good. I can use
Michelle,
it.
you grew too. Hello. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome. Valley Beth Shalom. It's time for us to bring in Shabbat together. It has been an extraordinary week. These months have been incredible. It feels like days are an eternity and weeks are a minute. And this is one of those weeks. And I can't believe that it's Friday already, but I am so grateful that it's here. And I know that it can't begin without all of us gathering together as a circle of community, bringing in Shabbat with beautiful music and some words and some joy of friendship together. So welcome, Cantor Baron. Please help us sing Shabbat Shalom.
Absolutely. Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Lai 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 lai. Yay, 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 we come from a tale so long ago, passed on by the waves and the wind. We've made it this far together, you know. Come, brothers and sisters and friends.
That's
Shabbat
wonderful.
shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom. And I hope we'll sing that again. How beautiful those melodies are for us to bring in Shabbat together. So now let us turn to the words of our tradition. Shalom Aleichem, page 13.
Page 15. Lechun eranena, lechun eranena, lechun eranena, lechun eranena, lechun eranena, lechun eranena. Maria, Maria, letzori shei, nikama, kana, letzoda. Maria, Maria, letzori shei, Miro, Damiano, lechun eranena, lechun eranena, lechun eranena, lechun eranena, lechun eranena, lechun eranena. El gadol Adonai, Bered gadol al kol Elohim. El gadol Adonai, Bered gadol al kol Elohim. Lechun eranena, lechun eranena, lechun eranena, lechun eranena, lechun eranena. Moving to page 19. Lay, 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 lay. Yay, lay, 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 lay. Yay, lay, lay, lay. Yay, lay, 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 lay. Or zarua latzadik, or zarua latzadik. Yay, lay, 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 tzadik, or zarua latzadik. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay,
Day is called Juneteenth. And if you talk to any history teacher, they'll scratch their head and they'll say, Juneteenth, when was that ever a holiday as a part of the calendar? And I have to say myself that there was something that I only noticed on my calendar maybe about a year ago that showed up in one of those automatic calendar pushes for my fancy dancy smartphone that told me that this day was called Juneteenth. And I thought maybe it was just a day that sort of rhymed with the number and there was some cause for celebration, had no idea what it was about. Today and this year, we know what this day is about. And this day is about celebration. There is something for us to celebrate because there is a story being told that is so similar to our story. And I invite us to tell the story of Juneteenth just like we tell the story of Lecha Dodi. We know our story so well. We know that it begins with the sun setting on Friday Eve as the rabbis and teachers of the town would go out into the fields and embrace Shabbat like a groom would greet a bride. And that story has kept us alive. It has filled us with joy. It has built us up with anticipation for what these next 25 hours will be for us in our lives. It's our story. It's our story that Shabbat is this time in which we feel like we are the grooms or we're the brides, but we're at a wedding celebration. And it's a time to rejoice, just like one would do at a wedding. This day is a day about a story as well. And it's a story very similar to the Jewish story, not about Shabbat, but about our own journey from slavery to redemption. As June 19th is the day that officially commemorates the final implementation of the Emancipation Proclamation. So in 1863, when Abraham Lincoln proclaimed that all the slaves in the land of the United States of America were free, it still took about 2 years for that news to travel all the way to Galveston, Texas, where there was a general who went to the people in Galveston who still had slaves under their authority and received the words from the federal government to pronounce and proclaim that slavery had ended and that all people would be free in the eyes of the law from that day forward. And so Juneteenth became actually a great day of celebration. It's something that hasn't been a part of American culture at all. I did a little bit of research, And if you haven't yet celebrated Juneteenth yet, what you need to do is you need to get some strawberry soda, yuck, or some maybe strawberry pie, that sounds much better, or some red velvet cake, even better than that. And you should be eating along with the circle of friends, just like we as a Jewish community gather in our joyous moments to celebrate the freedom of the African Americans, the Blacks in this country, who have celebrated now for 155 years. Freedom. It's a freedom that we know, even terribly so in this moment, is not yet complete, because there's a freedom by law and there's a freedom of the spirit. And so our story is not something that took place in Tzfat hundreds of years ago, and that we only look to that story as the way that we celebrate the oncoming of Shabbat. We need a Juneteenth to celebrate as well, because that story is not just about one other community. It's the story of all of us and all of humanity. And tonight, we celebrate all of humanity's potential for freedom. It is our story. Even the challenges that we confront in telling the story from that great day in 1865 to today, and know that the work is not yet complete. So I invite all of us, and I invite those of our friends in the African American community, in the Black community of this country, to celebrate Shabbat with us and to help us go out into the fields dressed in white and ready to embrace Shabbat and celebrate with us our freedom that we call Shabbat. And maybe we'll share a little bit of strawberry soda together with you as we celebrate this momentous occasion. Let's turn in our Siddurim, singing Lecha Dodi, page 21.
B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalat, Adodi, Nikrat Kana, B'nei Shabbat, Kabbalat, Shamor ben Zachor b'nei Borecha, Ishmianu, El HaMichad Adonai Echad, Ushel Echad, L'Shem Tiferet, V'Leitzil Adoni, Nikrat Kana, B'nei Shabbat, Beautiful. Chadodi, Likrat Kana, B'nei Shabbat. Yeah. Chadodi, Likrat Kana, B'nei Shabbat. Kavena, Chadodi, Likrat Kana,
be singing a song for Shabbat? Cantor Baron.
Wait. Sorry, Rabbi, my computer is giving me a message that I'm muted, but I don't think I am.
No, you sound wonderful.
Okay.
You're all there.
Well, we could do a little song for Shabbat. That would be nice. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. You could sing with me. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai, u'lezamer l'shimcha elyon.
We rise together now as we turn in our books. If you have the Siddur, page 28, as we welcome in the evening prayers with Shabbat, Baruch Hu is recited following Cantor Baron.
Adonai, Amevorach, Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vahed.
Everybody could take your seats as we continue in the middle of page 28 with the blessing Amari Baravi.
Umavire Yom Umevi Laila Umavdil Ben Yom Uvein Laila Adonai Tzevaot Shemo El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Leolam Vaed Baruch Atah Adonai Hama'ari V'Ravim Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Torah u'mitzvot Chukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu B'shofeinu u'bekomeinu Nasiach levukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha U'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Ki heim chayenu ve'orech yameinu ve'orech yameinu Oahem neged yomam v'layda Ve'avatecha al tasir nimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai
Ohev Amo Yisrael.
We gather together as one community, reciting the words of Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. God is one, and together we are one. Page 30.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. And we'll continue at the top of 31. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל, ואמרת עליהם, ויעשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף מטיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תתורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהי אותו ספר, או ספר. חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
So our story begins in the fields of Tzfat. Our story and our journey continues to 1865 when we celebrate with our Black brothers and sisters freedom and emancipation in this country. And there's nothing more powerful than sharing a common story in one of the most incredible ways that we do as a country and as a people than through some of the monuments and museums that we create. And I want to share a story with you, one of my stories, which is about the African American Museum in Washington, D.C. And if you have not yet been to visit this extraordinary journey of history and of celebration of identity, then I hope and I urge you that you will make it to this museum at some point in the near future. I had the privilege of going for the first time with my family a few months ago, just before all of this pandemic broke out. And to tell a little bit about the museum is to tell a little bit about the story that brings us to even our prayers at this moment. When you enter into the museum, you first take this big, huge gantry lift and it lowers you down in what feels like the hull of a ship to help replicate the experience of Africans being transported from their homeland in Africa to the shores of America in the early years of this country. And as you walk through the exhibits, you begin to see this journey not only of tremendous suffering, but something incredibly powerful about transformation. There's transformation that takes place in this journey, and the story that is being told is not of the suffering that perhaps brought this community, this people, to become a part of the American society, but really about the story, which is so much a resonant story of ours, as we also tell a story of our own suffering and our own redemption and our own transformation into the wide open spaces of freedom. So as you emerge from the museum, you leave with this sense of tremendous inspiration that what tomorrow is yet to bring not only will be brighter than yesterday, but that the recognition and the celebration of dignity and dignity of all humanity is not only possible, but it is becoming a reality. At this time, we're living in a moment where that reality is not yet quite upon us. And so we have to mark moments like this, not only as moments of celebration, but also moments that compel us to renew our responsibility to serve the other, to protect the dignity of those who are downtrodden, and to lift all up in the light and in the radiance of God's presence and of God's love. To do that, we learn as we turn in our books, we pray. That's how our story continues. When the Israelites cried out to God from their pain and their toil and their suffering, it was God that answered them. I'd like to think that it was through the prayers of the slave communities in which God heard, the people heard, and transformation took place. And tonight, as we celebrate this Shabbat, as we celebrate these momentous occasions in the history of our lives and probably of humanity, we recognize that transformation is not only possible, but it is necessary. And it is with our prayers that that possibility can become a reality. So if you have the book, you can open up to the prayer so you can hear the words as I read for you an excerpt from the prayer that we recite in the evening, a prayer for God's protection, a prayer for God's deliverance, a prayer for God's shelter of peace upon us and upon all of humanity. And so we read, Creator of peace, compassionate God, guide us to a covenant of peace with all your creatures, birds and beasts, as well as all humanity, a reflection of your image of compassion and peace. Give us the strength to help sustain your promised covenant, abolishing blind strife and bloody warfare, so they will no longer devastate the earth. So discord will no longer tear us asunder. Then all that is savage and brutal will vanish, and we shall fear evil no more. Guard our coming and our going, now toward waking, now toward sleep, always within your tranquil shelter. Beloved are you, sovereign of peace, whose embrace encompasses Jerusalem, the people Israel, and all humanity. Recite the concluding prayer of Hashkivenu, page 33.
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו, ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייך וביומך ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירם ועלמה, ויאמרו
Amen. We rise together, take a few moments of silent prayer, meditation, and reflection, beginning this evening on page 35B, and we continue all the way through page 38. Pages 35 to 38 in our Siddur Sim Shalom. And when you've concluded your personal prayers, you may take your seats.
Shalom bimromav yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru amen.
If you're seated, we ask everyone to rise as we near the conclusion of our prayer tonight with Aleinu, page 51.
That's your turn. Everybody sing. Adonai himloch leolam va'ed. V'nehemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Vayom ha'hu yeh Adonai echad u'shmo echad.
Everybody can take a seat. Take a seat for just a moment. I'm sorry, Cantor? Oh, okay. Before we recite the Kaddish tonight, we have to tell one part of the story more. just one more part of the story, which is that in this country, as we celebrate the freedom and the ongoing protections of freedoms that we continue to adjudicate and to protect in this country, even this week, we still remember that so many fall victim to acts of discrimination, of wanton violence, of subjugation, of segregation that still exist in our midst. And it is our imperative to stamp out those acts of hatred and those acts of separation which limit or diminish the dignity of any human being in our world. So I would like to share with you words that have been brought to us from an interfaith network, an interracial network with the Jewish and the Black community. And it's a Kaddish prayer that is being recited all across the country by congregations of all stripes and flavors, to be able to recognize, not only with solidarity, but to recognize our own responsibility in the need to create a world that is more just and compassionate, that is more fair and equal, and that is more dignified for everyone that is in our midst. So let me share the words, and I invite you to read the words with me before we recite Mourner's Kaddish, which you will be able to find on page 52. So please read these words with me together. Creator of life, source of compassion, your breath remains the source of our spirit, even as too many of us cry out that we cannot breathe. Lovingly created in your image, the color of our bodies has imperiled our lives. Black lives are commodified yet devalued, imitated but feared, exhibited but not seen. Black lives have been pursued by hatred, abandoned by indifference, and betrayed by complacency. Black lives have been lost to the violence of the vigilante, the cruelty of the marketplace, and the silence of the comfortable. We understand that Black lives are sacred, inherently valuable, and irreplaceable. We know that to oppress the body of the human is to break the heart of the divine. We yearn for the day when the bent will stand straight. We pray that the hearts of our country will soften to the pain endured for centuries. We will do the work to bind up the wounds, to heal the shattered hearts, to break the yoke of oppression. As the beauty of the heaven is revealed to us each day, may each day reveal to us the beauty of our common humanity. And we say together, Amen. For anyone who is in a period of mourning, please turn now, page 52, Kaddish Yatom. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbi. Ve'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. V'agalau v'izman kari v'imru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbi mevorach le'olam olamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yishomam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemedekudsha berichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom yiramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Cantor Baron, thank you very much for a beautiful, beautiful service this evening. It is a great spirit that we bring in Shabbat with your melodies and with your family, and Phoenix is just the best. We're like so privileged to watch him grow up before us, and now he's dancing. I can't wait to see him dance with us in good time in the community.
I have to tell you, Rabbi, he got very upset at one point because he wanted to start from the beginning again. He wanted to do the whole thing over again.
Yeah, right.
So when we're done here, we'll do it again, he and I.
Yeah, I have one of those too. It was like, no, it's not right. You have to do it all over again. That's good. You know what? I guess that means that he enjoyed it that much that he wants it to be just something to be repeated over and over. So thank you very much, everyone who's joined here on the Zoom and all of our friends in the Facebook universe and the YouTube universe that are participating tonight. Welcome to Valley Beshalom. If this is the first time that you're discovering us here, and we hope that you join us for many more wonderful programs of learning and moments of worship in our community, which will continue tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Or I'm sorry, 9 a.m. We have Torah study with Rabbi Feinstein. At 10 a.m. we have congregational services with myself and with Cantor Barron. And following that, there's another Torah study with Rabbi Hillel Silverman at 11:30. There's the evening minyan with Yossi Dresner at 6 p.m. And then at 8:30 p.m. we'll conclude Shabbat with Cantor Barron and myself once more. It's a Baron Hoffman Shabbat for all of you. 8:30 p.m. Please join us for Havdalah. Cantor Barron.
And Rabbi, one other thing to say, that wonderful Hine Matov, that fun Hine Matov that we did at the beginning, that's from Nefesh Mountain. And they're a really wonderful group that you should know about. If you don't, they're on the East Coast. And we're going to try to get them here, God willing, as soon as things calm down. We'll have them here. Yeah, Valley Bet Shalom, in person.
That's right. And you know what? If you want to hear their music, just go to one of Cantor Barron's backyard music barbecues, which is fantastic. And they're Nefesh Mountain. So type in it, Valley Bet Shalom, and hear Nefesh Mountain. Their music's extraordinary. It's really a gift. And thank you for sharing their gift with us through your music, Cantor Barron. So I think that's it. Any other announcements that we need to make at this point? You feeling good? Why don't we bring in Shabbat together with Hadlakat Neirot? Hi, Michelle. Thank you for being the representative candlelighter, and for those who would like Kiddush after that, do you have a Kiddush cup with you?
Yes, absolutely. And not only do I have a Kiddush cup, this is a Kiddush cup that you gave to my daughter for her bat mitzvah.
No, that he
No?
gave.
That you
they
gave
to you.
To me.
Thanking
me for, oh, that was it. Okay, I got it. You gave this to me. This is my Kiddush cup from Ethan's bar mitzvah. So thank you, and thank you, Ethan.
Beautiful. Thank you for saying that. Wonderful. Okay,
here we go.
So let's write together Kiddush. Hadlakat Neirot and Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat konsho me'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron le'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehila Lemikrai Kodesh, Zecher Litziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu Macharta, Viotanu Kidashta, Mikol Hamim, Vishabat Konshecha, Ve'ahava Uvratzon, Hilchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh, Hashabbat.
L'chaim. Amen. And Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We'll see you throughout the rest of Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
וידו הפקיד רוחי, וישן ויהירה, ואם רוחי גוויעתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא. אדון עולם, אשר מעלה, בטרם כל יציר נברא, ליהק נעשה, וחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו יקרא.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.